Assalamualaikum, and my name is Nur Azila binti Sekari, and my part is about the concept of economy in Islam. First one is human nature. This picture is not restricted to Islamic economic thought. For Islam, in terms of its religious dimension, strive with utmost care to connect its legislative principle to its ethical foundations, in order to create with them bridge that serve to secure happiness and tranquility for the human condition. Second is a moderate middle ground. This sense of moderation is most readily manifested in the Islamic position on private property. The private property consists of a moderation that is free from extremes. It is regards at both an individual and communal right, and the individual right is apparent in Islam explicit information of this right to private property and its guarantees for its protection against any transgression against it. Third is positive realism. The right to private property is instituted to meet the natural psychological instinct for ownership in the human being, while is it simultaneously restricted by the demand of the public will in order to achieve a sense of balance. This is the foundation that leads to the actualization of social advancement and progress, and to a sense of stability of fulfillment. The fourth is restricting in restricting individual welfare to the demand of the public will. This is one of the principles upon which Islamic economic thought is based, which consists of guaranteeing the autonomy of individual decision-making as long as it is in accordance with the public will by restricting individual freedom to accord with collective goods. The objective behind this is for individual rights are tied to social benefit, which are the objective of the law. The noble messenger has said, "There shall be no harming and no being harmed." This hadith report is considered amongst the most important foundational principles. The fifth is encouraging economic activities throughout the land. Islam is very concerned with encouraging economic activity and exhorting Muslims to hard work that is productive and profitable, and it has strongly opposed unemployment, dependency, and idleness, and prohibited to hoarding of wealth and depending on it. Six is restriction on the expansion of private wealth. It is concerned with placing restriction on the expansion of private wealth so as to ensure that this welfare is not wielded by its owner as a weapon against the public will. Lastly, the fight against poverty. The phenomenon of poverty is a social illness. Society cannot be established on a firm and solid foundation, while a section of its people suffer from the flesh of poverty and is afflicted by its cause. Islam response to the phenomenon of poverty has always been decisive, as it has affirmed the concept of sharing a portion of one's wealth between rich and the poor, and this sharing of a specific portion is renewed annually and applies to all types of assets that are raised by its money, real estate, personal effect, or crops. And it is the duty of the state to collect it and redistribute it to the needy who are deserving of it. Thank you.
Tiga.
Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Ikhwan bin Zainal Abidin Zabri, ID AA16197. Okay, hari ini saya akan menentangkan pasal Principle of Islamic Economy. Islamic economy is a system has been more common in mixed capital or Keynesian type economy, in which the government plays a major role in production of public goods, distribution of economic goods, and through spending and taxing policy Islamic economy. There are many principle of Islamic economy. One of them are man and his position. Man is a resident atau or khalifah of Allah and is obligated to follow the guidelines that sets down by him in every sphere of life for success in the life here and life after. Secondly, wealth and resource. Allah has created abundant resource both actually and potentially, but this resource is unequally distributed around us with wisdom to create a relation between human beings. Thirdly, economic trust. The natural inequality enables some people to earn more than others. To maintain a balance of society, is required that a part of the surplus earned by a person should go to the who is not able to earn. Next, economic activity. Islamic provide cooperation guidelines toward the economic activities. Example, production, distribution, and consumption. The commodities and service to be produced are categorized into necessity, comfort, and leisure. Next, trade and businesses. Islam permit and encourage trade. However, it provide a few conditions protect the interest of the parties involved in the trade and the interest of the society. Next, role and nature of money. Contrast to Contrary to prevailing system, Islam views money as only a medium of exchange and measure of volume. It does not consider it to be a commodity in itself. Next, debt.
Farisha Iwai binti Effendi, KA 15052. Okay, mine is characteristic features in Islamic economy. Okay, the first one is Allah is the sustainer. So in Al-Quran, it already says in Surah 53, verse 39 to 40, the Al-Quran encourage struggles when it says, and that there is not for man except that good for which he strives, and that his effort is going to be seen. So in famous hadith, Prophet said, Al-Kasibu Habibullah, the laborer or the worker is dear to Allah Almighty. The second one is God is real owner of everything and man is merely a trustee. So unto Allah belongs whatsoever is in the heavens and whatsoever in the earth, and unto Allah all the things are written. Surah 3 verse 109. The third one is everything created for service and use of man. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 29. It is He who created for you all of that which in us on the earth, and then He directed Himself to the heaven, His being above all creation, and made them seven heavens, and He is knowing of all things. The fourth one is concept of halal and haram. So Allah already said in Al-Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 168, O mankind, eat from whatever on the earth that is lawful and good, and do not follow the footsteps of Satan. Indeed, he is to you a clear enemy. So Allah already said in Al-Quran that we have to eat lawful and good food only. So the fifth, the system of sadaqah and zakat. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 43, and establish prayer and give zakah and bow with those who bow in worship and obedience, and spend in the way of Allah, and do not throw yourself with your own hands into destruction by refraining, and do good indeed. Allah loves
the doors of good. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 195. The sixth one is prohibition of interest. Allah already said in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 275 to 276, those who consume interest cannot stand on the day of resurrection, except as one stands who is being beaten by Satan into insanity. That is because they say trade is just like interest, but Allah has permitted trade and has forbidden interest. So whoever has received an admonition from his Lord and deceased stop have made what is past, and his fair rest with Allah. But whoever returns to dealing in interest and usury, those are companions of fire. They will abide eternally therein. Allah destroy interest and give increase for charities, and Allah does not like every sinning disbeliever. Ninth, ban of hoarding of wealth, and let not those who greedily withhold what Allah has given them of His bounty ever think that He is better for them. Rather, it is worse for them. Their neck will be encircled what they will help on the day of resurrection, and to Allah belongs the heritage of the heaven and the earth, and Allah with what you do is fully acquainted. Surah Al-Imran, verse 180. 10 is policy of moderation. Surah 5, verse 87. O you who have believed, do not prohibit the good things which Allah has made lawful to you, and do not transgress. Indeed, Allah does not like transgressors. And 11, condemnation of monasticism and materialism. And Allah already said in Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayat 87, O you who have believed, do not prohibit the good things which Allah has made lawful to you, and do not transgress. Indeed, Allah does not like transgressor. And the last one is equity and not equality. So the Quran already highlights these inequalities in the following verse. Surah 4, verse 32. And do not wish for that by which Allah has made some of you exceed others. For men, their share of what they have earned, and for women is a share of what they have earned. And ask Allah for of His bounty. Indeed, Allah is ever of all things knowing. That's all for me. Thank you.